This is an Irish Astronomical Society event. It's an IFAS event as well, the Irish Federation of Astronomical Societies. And that's the umbrella body that is over all the small little clubs in the country, you know. So there's about 10 clubs in Ireland tonight that are out doing something in their village, in a hall or outside, from Northern Ireland right down to Kerry, over in Galway, Shannonside, you know, Tullamore, and here in Wicklow National Park where we are. And so lucky today to have this clear evening for what we're doing here. Now, this is a global event. This is International Year of Astronomy 2009. Now, that is a celebration of Galileo's life. It's a celebration of Galileo looking through a telescope 400 years ago. And it's remembering that, you know, today by people kind of re-engaging with the sky like he did. But it's 400 years on. It's 2009. We have terrific telescopes. He had this very small telescope, and he only looked at the sky or looked at Saturn. He looked at Saturn and he looked at the moon and he looked at Jupiter, but he only looked at it in about the power of 20x, you know, about 20 times. He made his own telescope. He did drawings, wonderful drawings, and he did honest observations. And his science is still valid today. What he did is still valid 400 years later, which is fantastic. And this particular event, as I said, it's global. It's part of a thing called 100 Hours of Astronomy, where people are literally all over the planet doing 100 hours of astronomy. Well, it's actually 96 hours, but they rounded it off to 100 hours so that it didn't sound so daft, right? But some people are actually doing 24-hour webcasts, and because the planet turns, you know, and we have some people asleep when we're awake, you know, the people that are awake when we're asleep are doing it. So it's a continuum of astronomy. And 400 years ago, Galileo was the first person to turn a telescope to look at the moon, to look at Saturn, to look at Jupiter. And it's a remembrance of that, and it's a celebration of what Galileo did 400 years ago in 2009. And we have a fantastic gibbous moon, which means the moon is like a little bit past first quarter, so it's kind of like a fat moon. It's going to get fatter and fatter until it's a full moon with the sun fully shining on it. And we have Saturn, which is not too far away from the moon tonight, and looking fantastic in the scopes. There's two very small moons quite close to it. I'm not quite sure what they are, I'd have to look it up, but you can see Titan quite clearly as well, which is Saturn's largest moon. And not alone is it a 100 hours evening, it's a Saturn observation campaign evening. So what that is kind of obviously showing people Saturn, but telling them about the Cassini spacecraft that's in orbit around the planet. Last time we were here we had 160 people. It's definitely over the 200 mark, maybe close to 250 people. I have to get the figures off the park guides later on. But a terrific event. Actually, it looks like there's people still arriving. I see a whole heap of people walking in this direction. And I'm delighted to see so many people turn up with telescopes. We have Philip Lardner with a 20-inch Dob, which had a huge queue all evening. I have my 8-inch. Val Dunn had an 8-inch Celestron. This man here from the Dublin Institute of Advanced Studies brought an 8-inch telescope that was kind of homemade, made out of a wabbon pipe and a bit of wood and a few other bits and pieces. And he was happy enough to show Saturn. David Brannigan was here with an 8-inch Celestron. Michael Murphy was here with an 11-inch go-to telescope, a computerised telescope. And then over here we have Keith Devaney, who brought his own 12-inch Dob. It's terrific to be able to explain to people what exactly it is they're looking at, you know, because the majority of people that come to these things, they've never seen the moon in a telescope. They don't even know what they're looking at, you know. And to me, I think everybody should know what they're looking at. I mean, it's kind of just a no-brainer, but it has kind of brought people together, and it's brought the public to the sky, you know, away from the television, away from the PlayStations, away from Bebo, and into the reality of looking at the sky.